She stood frozen in the middle of the airport, her designer heels clicking against the marble floor as the announcement echoed overhead. Final call for Flight 7A, the doors are now closed. The CEO, who had never missed anything in her life, not a meeting, not a deal, not a deadline, had just missed her private jet, and within the next 24 hours, her world would be shaken by a single dad she had never met. Olivia Hart didn't lose control. That was her rule, her rhythm, her reputation. But today, control slipped through her fingers like sand. A delayed board meeting, a jammed car door, and a frantic drive to the airport later, she found herself staring at the empty runway where her jet had been waiting just 10 minutes ago. She pressed her hand to her forehead, overwhelmed, her assistant apologizing through the phone. But Olivia wasn't listening. She was too busy fighting the sting in her chest, something that felt too close to frustration, too close to loneliness. Needing to get home for a major presentation, Olivia reluctantly booked a seat on the next commercial flight. She expected noise, chaos, crying babies, basically everything she avoided. What she didn't expect was the man sitting by the window in her row, helping a tiny girl tie the ribbon on her torn backpack. That he looked up as Olivia approached, soft eyes, tired smile, shirt sleeves rolled up, a wedding ring missing from his finger but the faint tan line still visible. "Sorry," he said quietly, shifting the little girl to give Olivia space. "We'll keep our things on this side." Olivia nodded stiffly, sitting down, trying to disappear behind her tablet. But the girl, big brown eyes, curly hair, probably 6, leaned forward and whispered, "Hi. I like your shiny shoes." Olivia blinked. Compliments weren't something she was used to from children. "Thank you," she said softly. "I'm Lily," the girl continued. "And this is my daddy. We're going home." Something loosened in Olivia's chest. "I'm Olivia." Mid-flight turbulence shook the plane. Olivia gripped her seat, breath uneven. She hated flying, at least flying without her private jet stability. The little girl reached over, placing her small hand over Olivia's. "It's okay," Lily said sweetly. "Daddy says when things shake, you just breathe slower." Her father turned, his voice gentle. "She's right." Deep breaths. In and out. Olivia hesitated. It had been a long time since anyone spoke to her with softness. She followed his breathing, calming down as the rumbling eased. After a moment, he chuckled. "You don't look like someone who gets scared." "I don't," she said, embarrassed. "Just, not a fan of surprises." "Life is full of them," he replied, tapping Lily's nose. "Especially when they're 6 years old." For the first time in months, Olivia smiled, really smiled. As the flight continued, she learned his name was Daniel Brooks, a single dad who worked 2 jobs and still made time to braid his daughter's hair every morning. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier. He didn't talk about it much, but Olivia could hear the weight in his voice. She also noticed how he looked at Lily as if she were his entire universe, something Olivia had never had, no matter how much success she collected. By the time the flight landed, she felt something unfamiliar, comfort. Connection. Something warm she wanted to hold onto, but life didn't pause for moments of softness. As soon as the doors opened, her phone buzzed relentlessly, meetings, deadlines, problems waiting for her. She forced herself to stand. "It was nice sitting with you both," she said, surprising even herself. Daniel smiled gently. "Same here." Lily waved. "Bye, Miss Olivia." Olivia walked away, feeling an ache she didn't understand. 2 days later, Olivia's company faced its biggest crisis of the year. A major investor backed out, the board panicked, and Olivia, cold, polished, alone, stood in front of a room filled with people expecting her to save everything. She delivered the perfect speech on paper, but her voice lacked something: heart. Purpose. She felt it, and worse, she knew they felt it too. That night, exhausted, she stepped out of the office to grab a coffee from a small cafe down the street. And there, behind the counter, stood Daniel, wearing an apron with his name on it, wiping down a table while Lily colored with crayons in the corner. "You work here?" Olivia asked, shocked that he laughed softly. "One of two jobs. Barista by evening. Construction supervisor by day. Single dad life." Olivia felt something tug inside her. "Do you ever rest?" He shrugged. "I rest when my daughter sleeps. I work because she deserves a life that's steady and full of love." He glanced at Lily, his eyes soft. "Even if I'm tired, I show up. She needs that." His words struck Olivia deeper than she expected. Show up. She had always shown up for work, for money, for success. But when had she last shown up for a person? For herself. They talked for an hour, about life, regrets, dreams, the weight of expectations, the loneliness of being strong all the time. Olivia felt more seen in that one conversation than she had in years. At one point, Lily ran up to Daniel. "Daddy, my crayon broke." Daniel knelt, fixing it carefully. "It's okay. We can always fix things together." Olivia watched him, and something inside her shifted permanently. When she finally stood to leave, Daniel looked at her seriously. "Olivia, you're carrying too much alone." She swallowed hard. "I don't know how to do anything else." "You start small," he said quietly. "You let someone sit beside you, even if it's just on a plane." Olivia laughed through a tight throat. "Is that your way of asking if we can talk again?" "It's my way of saying you don't have to do life alone," he replied. "None of us do." Lily tugged Olivia's hand. "Come again tomorrow. I'll draw you something." For the first time in years, Olivia Hart said something she wasn't used to saying, something that scared and healed her at the same time. "I will." As she walked out of the cafe, she felt lighter than she had in years. She had missed her private jet, but maybe she hadn't missed anything at all. Maybe she had been redirected to exactly where she needed to be, and for the first time, she looked forward to tomorrow. Not a meeting, not a deal, not an achievement, but a father and daughter who, without trying, had changed everything.